All right, today we did Module 1, Lesson 9, so we're going to go over the homework. In today's lesson, we actually started with MAFS 5, MBT 2.7, which basically today we're going to be focusing on adding decimals. Our lesson objective was add decimals using place value strategies and relate strategies to a written method. And we're going to focus mostly on place value and the standard algorithm. Okay, first we're going to use some unit form. And unit form is very good because it allows us to do a lot of mental math. Okay, let me get my pen here. Okay, so when I talk to students today, I talked about apples and apples and oranges and oranges. You don't want to add apples and oranges. You always want to add apples to apples. So like here I have 3/10 plus 4/10. Well, if I was talking apples, if I had 3 apples plus 4 apples, I ended up with 7 apples. In the same way here, I'm going to have 7/10. On B, once again, we have tenths and tenths, so it's apple to apples, and 12/10 plus 9/10 would give me 21/10. Now, when I'm trying to split this up, if I were to come down to the place value chart down here, and I put 21/10 in here, we know we only can have one digit in each place value, so I'd put the 1 here, and the 2 has to be regrouped to here. So we can see we'd end up with 2 ones and 1/10. Our next, we have 400ths plus 700ths, which would give us, 300ths plus 400ths would give us 700ths. And if we come down to the chart down here, I can see if I put a 7 in the hundredths place, if I wanted to write this as a decimal, I'd end up having to put in placeholders. So we'd end up with 0.07. Our next one, we have 2700ths plus 700ths, which is going to give us 3400ths. Now, when we have 2 digits in here, we know the last digit belongs in the place value, so that's going to be the hundredths. And the net place value next to the hundredths is the tenths, so we have 3/10 and 400ths. E, we have 4 thousandths plus 3 thousandths, which give us 7 thousandths. F, 39 thousandths plus 5 thousandths gives us 44 thousandths, and we know the last digit goes in the thousandths place, and the place value next to that would be the hundredths. So we have 400ths and 4 thousandths. On G, well, now we have tenths and hundredths, tenths and thousandths, I mean. So we're not exactly doing apples to apples, but here's a real quick way when you're adding different place values. How about if we just come up with a place value chart here? And I'm going to extend it down because I'm going to use it for the next couple. And we know this is our ones, our decimal goes here. This is our tenths, our 100ths. This is our 1/1000ths. And it says 5/10. So I'm going to go ahead and write 5/10 in there. And I'm adding 7 thousandths. So I'll put 7 thousandths in there. And we have a placeholder to put right here. So if I'm just reading it to the thousandths, I would read it as a whole number, 507, not 500 and, but 507 thousandths. Under H, let's extend this down so we can use it again. This time it says we have 4 ones. We've got our decimal point right here, so we know there's 4 ones, and it says 4/10. So I'm going to put 4/10 in here. But we're adding 4/10. So I can see now when I add these two together, I'm going to end up with 8/10. Now, if I'm reading it to the tenths place, I'd read it as a whole number, 48. So that'd be 48/10. Our last one, I'm going to do another place value chart here. Ones, tenths, 100ths, and 1,000ths. And once again, I have 8 thousandths, so I'll put 8 in the thousandths place. 6 ones, so I'll put the ones here, and 8 thousandths, so I get another 8 thousandths. Well, when I add those two up, I end up with 16 thousandths, which I end up having to regroup the 1. And then we have a placeholder. So you can see we now have 6, 0, 1, 6. So if I was to read this to the thousandths, I'd read it as a whole number with no decimal, and I would end up with 6,016 thousandths. Now we're going to shift over to the standard algorithm. So we have 0 and 4/10, and we're going 0 and 7/10. Notice I've lined up the decimals. I've also lined up the place values. 4 plus 7 is 11. Just want to carry our 1, and we ended up with 1.1, or 1 and 1/10. In B, we have 2.04, or 2 and 4/100, plus 0.07, which is 7/100. 4 plus 7 is 11, carry our 1, end up with 1, and our decimal point and 2, so 2 and 11/100. Our next problem, we have 6 and 4/10, and we're going to add 3 and 7/10. 4 plus 7 is 11, carry our 1, and 6 plus 3 is 9, and 1 is 10. Our last problem, we have 56 and 0.4, or hundredths, and we're adding 3 and 7/100. So 4 and 7 is 11, carry 1, 1, put our decimal place in there, 6 and 3 is 9, and 5. $72 and 564 thousandths, and we're adding 5 and 137 thousandths. 4 plus 7 is 11, carry 1, 6 and 3 is 9, 1 is 10, carry 1, 5 and 2 is 7. 5 and 2 once again is 7 and 7. So it was 77 and 701 thousandths. Our last one is 75 and 604 thousandths. And we're adding 22 and 296 thousandths. Now 6 and 4 is 10, we'll carry our 1. 9 and 1 is 10, carry our 1. 6 and 2 is 8, 1 is 9. 5 and 2 is 7, 7 and 2 is 9. Number 3 says a walkway over the Hudson, a bridge across the Hudson River in Poughkeepsie is 2.063 kilometers long. Angping Bridge was built in China 850 years ago, is 2.07 meters long. What is the total span of the two bridges? Well, we need to get used to using tape diagrams. So I'm going to draw a tape diagram, and this one here is the Hudson Bridge, and this one here is the Angping Bridge. Now the Hudson was 2.063 kilometers, and the Angping is 2.07 kilometers. And we have to find out what the total is. So in order to solve for the total, I'm going to take 2 and 063 kilometers, and we're going to add 2 and 07 kilometers. Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a placeholder in to get them exactly the same. Now 3 plus 0 is 3, 6 and 3 is 6 and 7 is 13, carry 1, 1 and 4. So our answer is 4 and 133 kilometers, both of them together. Our last one says Leigh likes to walk her dog on a walkway over the Hudson. If she walks across and back, how far will she and her dog walk? Well, if I have a tape diagram and I'm going to put the Hudson twice, and I know that each time I went across was 2.063 kilometers. And once again, we're looking for the total distance. So I'm going to end up with 2.063 kilometers and 2.063 kilometers. Add them up, we got 6, 12, carry our 1, 1, and they end up with 4 and 126 kilometers. Our last problem says, for his parents' anniversary, Danny spends $5.87 on a photo. He also buys a balloon for $2.49 and a box of strawberries for $4.50. How much money did he spend altogether? Well, if I take a tape diagram again, if I split this into 3 sections, and I know the photo cost $5.87, and I know the Strawberries. They cost $4.50. And then the balloon was $2.49. And I'm looking for the total amount of money he's spent. So I'm going to add these three together. It'd be $5 and $87 and $4.50. Add those two together first. I have 7, 13, carry 1, and that gives us 10. So now I got $10.37. Come on, pen. There we go. That's $10.37, and we're adding $2.49 to it. Well, 7 and 9 is 16, carry 1, that'd be 7 and 1 is 8, and 0 and 2 is 2 and 1. So he ended up spending $12.86.